Hello students, this is Kanika. Welcome to my channel Prep Biology. We have started Unit 1 of Class 12th Biology, that is reproduction, and we will continue with that. Chapter number 1, Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. We have covered almost 5 topics of this unit. So this is class 6th of this unit of this series, and today we will discuss about the Megasporangium, that is the structure of ovule. So let's start with the lecture. As we all know that the female reproductive parts in the flowering plants contains pistil. Pistil have 3 parts: stigma, style and ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. Okay. Now, if we see in the ovary, we have multiple ovules are present. We have multiple ovules are present inside it. So, ovules are also called as megasporangia. The megasporangia term we will use for multiple, that is the plural term, multiple ovules, and megasporangium term we will use for the single ovule, that is the singular term. Okay, megasporangia is a plural term and megasporangium is a singular term. So I hope this is clear to you all. So in this lecture we will continue with the structure of Megasporangium. Megasporangium is structure of ovule. If we see the structure of the Megasporangium, that is the structure of ovule, single ovule, we have this kind of structure. So understand it carefully. We have this rounded middle part, and around this it has multiple layers, and this kind of structure is seen under the microscope if we see the single ovule structure. Now let's discuss different parts. First of all, we know that if this is ovary and the middle part of the ovary is placenta, we have discussed earlier, and with the placenta the different ovules arises. These are the different ovules arises from the placenta. Now, the point is here, the ovules are attached, with the placenta, the ovules are attached with the placenta. That stalk is called the funicle. This part is very important. What is funicle? Funicle, ovules attached to the placenta by means of a stalk, that is called the funicle. The ovules are attached to the placenta with which part? Funicle part. So first of all, if this is the structure of single ovule and this stalk is called the funicle. This stalk is called the funicle that joins ovules with the placenta. I hope this part is clear to you all. Next part is this part. This part is, it is the joining of the funicle and the ovule. As you all can see here, This is the joining of the funicle and ovule. That part is called the hilum. The hilum part is the structure attached to placenta with funicle in the region that shows the junction between the ovule and funicle. So, in short, what is hilum? It is the junction between the ovule and funicle. Now, let's see the next part. The next part is the different integuments or the envelopes. Integuments are called the envelopes. So, ovule have two integuments. This is the outer one, outer envelope, and this is the inner envelope. So, the protective covering of the ovule is called the outermost is called the outer integument, and the inner one is called the inner integument. Note it down carefully. We have covered the funicle part. Outer integument is the outermost envelope or the protective layer that protects the ovule. Inner integument is the inner layer that protects the ovule. Hilum is the junction between the ovule and funicle. So now we have very important part. We have very important part that is the middle part. So there are mass of cells present around the middle part, mass of cells within the integument which are abundant in the food reserve. That part is called the nucellus. This part is very important, that surrounds the middle part and which contains the food reserve. Okay, that will help in the maturation of the ovule. Now, inside the nucellus, we have rounded structure. That is called the embryo sac. Okay, or female gametophyte. The embryo sac is also called the female gametophyte that develop further and form the female gametes. Okay, so these all parts are very, very important. So make sure you note it down carefully and practice this diagram repeatedly, because this topic, the structure of ovule, is very important for your board exam point of view. Okay, we have discussed the different parts of the ovule. Now, understand the two terms which are very important in the structure of the ovule. The first term is the micropylar end, and second one is the chaliceal end. These two ends are very important, so understand it carefully. What is micropylar end? Micropylar end is the end where these are the integuments. We know this is the outer integument, this is the inner integuments. Now, the integuments encircle nucellus. These two these two integuments encircle the nucellus. This is the nucellus, that is the mass of cell, we know. Now, the integuments encircle the nucellus except the tip of the small opening. So, you all can see here, this is the part where these integuments does not encircle the nucellus. So, this part is called the micropylar end. Okay. So, what is micropylar end? This is the small tip or the opening where integuments do not encircle the nucellus. That end is called the micropyle or micropylar end. Now, what is chalazal end? Chalazal end represents the basal part of the ovule. This is the basal part. This is the basal part of the ovule. So, basal, the chalazal end represents the basal part of the ovule, and it is present opposite to the micropylar end. So, these two ends are very important. So, let's revise different parts. This is the funicle part that joins the ovule with the placenta. Now, this is the hilum part, which is the junction between the ovule and funicle. This is the outer integument. This is the inner integument, and the mass of cells that surrounds the embryo sac, that is called the nucellus. And nucellus contains abundant food reserve. And the middle part that represents the female gametophyte, that is the embryo sac, that further matures and divided into the mature ovule. So these all parts are very important, and the function of each and every part is also very important. I hope this is clear to you all. If we see this diagram is from your NCERT biology textbook. So we have discussed this structure, that is the structure of the ovule. We have discussed the different parts of the ovule, that is the hilum, funicle, micropyle, and outer integument, inner integument, nucellus, embryo sac, and the chalazal pole or chalazal end. Okay. So this structure is of, I have written here that this is the typical anatropous ovule. So there are different types of ovules present in different species of the plants. So there are about 6 types we have, and one of the 6 types we have, one type is called the anatropous ovule. So in the next class, we will discuss about different types of ovules and the examples of each type of the ovules. This part is also very important. From this part, there are many questions, MCQs type questions have already asked in your previous year questions. So make sure you must watch this lecture. Okay. So this is all about today's class. I hope this structure of ovule, that is a megasporangium, is clear to you all. If you like this channel, like, share and subscribe my channel, that is the Prep Biology. Keep studying, study hard, study smart. Thank you so much.